I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and always space to learn, man. In my first fight coming into the EFC, I said I'm learning, I'm growing, and in this sport, if you tell yourself you've done learning, it's no point.
Losing sometimes good just to wake you up, just to give you that shake.
Space for growth is very important. You always have to grow. If you think you've grown or if you think you're done growing, then something's wrong. You need to grow every day, every single day of your life until you die. So lesson will never be stopped. You always learn. I grew up not accepting defeat. I was beat up, I was dragged down. I believed in getting back up every time you get knocked down, so we're not done. We keep coming up to the top there, yes. As a kid growing up, I never had anyone to inspire me. I never had anybody that I can be like, hey, this is an idol for me. I want to be like him. I would love to have many more young kids to look up and be like, I want to be like Lambi. And not just the way he fights, but in everything that he does, in and outside the X, because I believe we all can be something great in this life. You can do anything, and I mean anything in life. If you put your mind into it and you put the work and you believe in knowing that this is the path I'm going to follow, believe me, you will. And there's nothing stopping you from doing whatever that you want in life. And that's coming from a person that I thought I would never be where I am today. I wanted to have at least 10, 15 fights as an amateur before coming up to pro, but we couldn't get fights and there's nothing we could do about it. And I walked in the gym like, hey, Graham just called and offered you a contract for multiple fights. And I was like, oh, interesting. I thought it was just like making jokes. I was like, it's a joke. He's like, no, we need to get you in camp right now. You're making a debut. I think it was in '99. That's when you realize you're like, damn, as an amateur and as a pro, things are done way different. So it was a sign of we're heading somewhere right in life too. The closer you get to the EFC, the more nervous you get, and the moment you walked in here.
Kudari inside the Hex, but now it's the first time out. Hailing from the PESPA camp there in Port Elizabeth, Shadrack Nsua.
I was gonna walk up the stairs. My legs are shaky. I'm like, if I walk up, I'm gonna fall. I'm gonna crawl up the stairs instead. I was a lot nervous until I was taken onto the ground by Francois Kundare. All the nerves just disappeared.
That pacing back and forth, eyes directly on his opponent, Shadrack Nsua. Doesn't seem very fazed by it, kind of in his own zone.
Got to the fight, he threw an elbow and I initiated a bit of a clinch. He did a judo throw. When I was on the ground, took my back and Chris told me, you know what to do. Those words reminded me already the sequence of everything, what to do. That's when everything came down. I remember when I turned, I got on top of him, I locked his arm, I dropped the first elbow. I remember every drills we were doing, controlling him, bringing him on. And when I got up, I started ground pounding, everything just came naturally, and then, yeah.
Kudari still fighting, a wily veteran is Francois Kudari. Oh, and he's very hurt. This fight's over. Too much power. Nsua puts away Kudari. What a finish, what a debut. Man, you gotta watch out for this guy. He is a problem. He looks like Ngannou as a middleweight, is what he looks like. He looks like Francis Ngannou became a middleweight. It looked so easy the way he was able to put out Kudari.
This is how many got a thing that says, you want some? Come get some, baby! I'm here now, okay?
Peterson, that's where I discovered sport. They helped me rediscover myself. They all became more like family, and school became more like a home place for me, where I'm like, I want to go to school because I want to show my friends as well. And with that school, had pretty much every race, every culture you can have. So that's pretty much the first time I felt unity. Nobody in that school is willing to give up on you.
I didn't know it was you.
I used to be Shadrack's business studies teacher. When we were short on our prefect body and all the guys were like quite short, and I said, no, there is someone that will be able to help us to control the kids, especially at the cafeteria. And then he did an amazing job. Well-mannered, well-spoken, soft-spoken, and always a loving nature around him. We have kids from various backgrounds and mostly impoverished areas, but those kids thrive here at our school because we are family. We're not the school only, we're family. So they really prosper here, and Shadrack is proof of that.
If they see potential, they're gonna push and help you to get to where you have to go. And it doesn't matter if it's academic or sport. When I met Mr. Sean Fonling, the reason why I'm here today is because of Peterson. And for me, that school holds the most special place in my heart. And the gratitude is just not enough for me, for them to see what they've done for me in my life.
Well, Shadrack, he was always standing out amongst all the learners. He would walk in the corridors and always that smile, so you can't miss him. He wasn't interested in sport at all, because he never played sport. Even he said at primary school he didn't play sport, nothing. So he wasn't introduced to it. But I always kept Shadrack in mind. When he went to grade 10, most of my first team players finished off at school because they were in grade 12. So I needed to build a team again. He was one of my players on the list without him knowing his name is on my list.
First impression of Mr. Fonling was, damn, this guy's irritating. Can this guy just leave me alone? I just want to come to school, do my things, and go home.
Well, some people say I have a no-nonsense approach, and I went straight to the point, and I called him first. I said, I want you to play rugby. He said, no ways, no, he's not playing sport. I said, okay, you say that now. I say, you are going to play.
He said, I don't care. We'll teach you how to play sport. You will learn. That's what sport's about.
And then that is where the duck and dive. Every time when he saw me, he tried to evade me. And I just looked and Shadrack is gone. Then I went to the class one day.
He wanted me to do something that I didn't want to do. And he kept pushing, I'm like, this guy, can you just give me peace?
And then I look at the timetable where his class is at that moment. I said, well, now I'm going to get you. And I went straight to the class. But then I called him to my class. I said, come here, I want to speak to you. Do something. You cannot just come to school for academic purposes. You should develop in all domains. I said, just give it a try. Then I lowered my voice, because I need to win him over to me. And somehow, maybe he gave it a thought.
I think from then until now, it's changed drastically, yeah. I told him, I've never played rugby in my life. I've never played any sport in my life.
I said, no, I'm going to teach you how to play. In his first match, he just got the ball and he ran through a few guys. And I think then he started to realize, hey, these guys are scared for me, And then every time I just give the ball to Shadrack. Shadrack got the ball, just run, Shadrack. Then they know it's about 2-3 guys. He's going to bump, and I think he started to enjoy that, start getting into the thing. Hey, bump the guys, and I just backed him afterwards,
And he saw something that I never thought I had. He saw a leader. He made me a captain in the team as well, and people were like, why? He could have picked anyone, he could have chosen anyone. He saw something that today I am pushing hard to show him to the world as well. I always use the word gees around the guys. In a rugby field, everybody had respect for everybody. That was the first time I felt unity, and I wanted to understand more of that happiness. And you're in the field, you forget your problems. You're in a rugby field with these guys, and everything that you've gone through, everything that has happened in your life disappeared.
last time we saw Shadrack, it was EFC 99 with a convincing victory. And an incredible specimen here is Nsua. This guy has all the physical attributes, and he has a tremendous team behind him. It seems like, Simon, that really the sky is the limit for a guy like a Shadrack Nsua representing the DRC.
Yeah, future middleweight champion without a doubt. Incredible prospect. You can see what a cracking attitude he has. It's just his second pro fight as he enters the hexagon here. And you can see he's got everything going for him. Pretty much any promotion in the world will be lucky to have this kid. Remember where you saw Shadrack Nsua.
Coming to Kamba's fight, Chris told me, he's like, look, when you go out there, be yourself.
With the strikes, and does that immediately. Single leg, straight down to the ground. Good scramble from Kamba. So be careful of those bombs.
Kamba just trying to hold on for dear life, grabbing onto limbs, and goes right into half guard. These guys are all focused. They know what they want to do. And I feel like that must be what Chris Bright is instilling in these guys' right hand by Nsua.
The single to try and prevent the transition to mount. He's tapping out. Kamba's tapping. He's done.
Oh, that's it. He wants no more of that. Shadrack Nsua brings the heat. And Mark Kamba took a few of those directly on the chin, and there goes Shadrack. He just wants to celebrate with the crowd. I don't know how the commission will feel about that, but, you know, let him do what he wants. Who's going to tell him no? Shadrack Nsua with a big victory.
Really, everything on the card. Yes, my friend. All day, he's saying. All effing day.
This is why we belong. This is why I was born to do this. You want some? You want some? Come and get some, baby!
That phrase, you want some, come get some. Cedric Mola Mbala is his name. He's a brother to me. He was like reciting it a lot with Josh Bright, Chris's son. And I remember the first time I held the mic, the energy that I said it with, Chris was like, don't give it back to him. And I told Cedric, it's late now, it's mine now. So after Pedersen rugby-wise, there was a club called P Harlequins. I played, I think, for about 4 or 5 months. I thought rugby was the sport that would take me all the way to become a professional. So I got enrolled in NMU. From NMU, I played about 3.5 seasons there. And then EP Elephant, but I didn't play too much because that's when the injury kind of occurred and happened. After having a femur injury, I had what you call an osteochondroma. So osteochondroma, it's pretty much a development of a cancer. You know? They kind of have to amputate that part if you don't get surgery done quickly for it. So, and with me, I thought it's just a minor injury. It started affecting my ACL and the knee, MCL and the knee as well. The knee became a bit more vulnerable. I'd play rugby, on and off injuries. I walked in the hospital for a checkup. The orthopedic surgeon looked at my knee and is like, dude, this thing's getting bigger and we have to amputate this ASAP or else we're gonna have to take the leg off. The surgery was done successfully. I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to pretty much use my left leg. I felt like I was an infant. And I was told because the surgery was done in the femur, they cut pretty much a bit of a bone in the femur there, I might risk the chance of either breaking the femur on its own. For me to be told that I can't do sports anymore, I was like, that's a bummer. It broke me mentally, physically, and everywhere. I kind of stopped everything, work, everything stopped. The injury is the one thing that got me to decide I need to make sure that I prove the world wrong. And my uncle has been pushing me to join MMA for a while. He's the one obviously introduced me to Chris. I started doing it. I got humbled. In rugby, I was the guy, I was the man. One of the guys that inspired me to take MMA serious was Shorty, because I would come in the morning to help them to do a bit of wrestling. They just flipped me, all 3 of them, but they had different techniques. So for me, when Cedric did it, Cedric is a big boy. I'm like, nah, it's fine. Sindile is quite a big boy. I took it, but when Shorty did it to me, it clicked. That I was like, how? I wanted to know how can such a human control 125 kilograms. The way they treated me when I walked into the room as well, not like I'm a foreigner in the country. When I walked into that room, I was welcome.
remember you, man. That's was long time. How's it? I'm good, man. So you grew up here?
Well, the time was coming here. The first day he was coming here, he was young.
He was my father's friend, close friend back in because my father was in the Marine, so they served in the Marine together. We moved in his house and we were interested to him at the time, and he had a girlfriend, very nice. When we met her at the first time, she was lovely. And obviously a week later we realized, nah, it's not what we thought it was. We became mates in the house. Her kids would go to school, we have to do every chores in the house. If we don't, we get punished for it, obviously. I don't really remember what happened that day, but I did something and she wasn't happy. And there was a frying pan in the kitchen with oil, lots of oil, frying chicken. And she asked me to grab something on the bottom on the shelf. So as I was like trying to get something on the shelf, literally poured oil and chicken pan boiling and stuff on my head. Like I'm not running bottom right over my head. You know, it's like, yeah. It's, I don't hold a grudge, regardless of what we've gone through. Life has been hard. Yeah, I've forgiven her. I've moved on. I decided to have peace in my heart because I can't be better because somebody else was never happy with their own life and they took it out on me. I can't carry that on, man. Life is short. I mean, I always want to treat people the way I would want to be treated. So I tell my sister every day, make peace with her. Never leave this world holding a grudge at anybody, regardless of whatever they did to you. As a human, if you let anything break you, that's it. You're done. I look back, I'm like, yeah, I am man. The man I am today because of the life I've lived. I don't know where I would be if I've never gone through those hardships. I still thank God for everything, every single thing in my life. I would believe I was born to be a fighter. I fled my country as a minor. I mean, leaving the country at the age of 11 and a half, fighting to get out of your own country, fighting to fit in, fighting to become someone, constantly fighting my whole life. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've done. The biggest advice that I'll have for someone who's been knocked down multiple times who feel like, life is just against them. Life is not against you. Life is preparing you for something bigger. If you're going through hardship now, it's for a good cause. It's preparation for you to see the bigger picture. It's preparation for you to get to where you're supposed to be. You are destined for greatness, but it will not come easy. That's life.
Simon, we've seen hype trains like this get derailed many, many times in the sport, in this organization. Do you think it's even a possibility with a guy like Shadrack?
If you had to derail a hype train like Shadrack Nsua, the train would just carry on without needing the railroad. That's what Shadrack Nsua is. He says, if I'm a hype train, then I don't need the railroad.
Fighting Stefan Pretorius, tough man. Stefan is a tough guy. Till now, I don't think I've ever been in a cage and actually beat up a person in that level and for them to not give up or not stop in mid-fight or whatever. So he's a tough guy. Round 2, I was out with the knees on the ribs and the control in the cage, the ground and pounds. Him getting up, the takedown, the control on the ground as well. I think round 2 is where I did most of the work. That fight helped a lot in a way of assessing information, knowing what we need to add. Chris was always humbling me at that time. He's like, look, there'll always be somebody that'll beat you. You're gonna lose a fight, and that's fact. And for me, I'm like, yeah, I believe that, but for now, we're unstoppable. We're moving at the same speed that we're not going to be stopped, you know. So, yeah, felt a bit unstoppable there.
30-27, 30-26, and 30-25, declaring your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner, Blambi, Shadrack Nsua.
My family, they're special. A bunch of crazy, special, lovely, amazing people. Whenever we come together, it's a blast. Primary goal I do, I want to build a home for my family, where I want to see my entire family together. It just makes me smile when I see them like that. I do this for them. The family that I have here, they make me feel very special. It's very important for me to take care of my family. If I'm able to send money in the DRC in an easy way, it makes me happy to know that I can. I just want to make them proud. They've done so much for me to be where I am today. They've played a major role in my life.
Welcome everybody to EFC 112's pre-event press conference.
Well, I have something to prove. Does the night you see?
I beg this man here to put the best that he can find in front of me, because that's what I want, to fight the best in this country, and to fight the best in this continent, and to fight the best in the world.
I have so much fire to unleash to you, and I hope you resist.
The talk is over. My hands are going to do the talking occasion Thursday. I felt good standing in front of him, and it didn't really feel like a threat to me. It didn't really feel like, you know, somebody that I should fear or should be scared of. A lot happened into that fight that played a lot in my emotion, like in my head.
A lot to play for Shadrack. I mean, this is a catchweight bout because Isaac came in significantly heavier, and Shadrack was like, I don't care, I just want to fight the guy.
It's a fight. I had a choice to accept the fight or not. I would never turn down a fight, especially the fact that I knew I put in so much work. This place feels like I'm home when I'm around here, because the chant that I chant people screaming Blambi, and I don't want them to stop, because it's a fuel, it's drive, it's something I've always wanted.
This one should be.
I remember Ref asked, "You ready?" I said I was born ready. I said born ready. I looked at him in his eyes, I felt good. He threw a kick, landed on the thigh. I think it threw a jab. I hit him with the jab, initiated a takedown, went to the wall. I defended it pretty well. The nerves kicked in so quick and kneed me in the groins. That played a part. I looked at him and he was talking a lot in the cage, and that whole emotion now played a part, and then I let it get the best of me. I remember when we obviously re-engaged again, I threw I think it was a hook straight. So I clipped it. The fact that I let the emotion blind everything and the anxiety and all, I started pushing my punches, pushing everything, closing that range, and I allowed him in my pocket. He threw that hook, caught me with it, and that's when I was out.
Oh, big left. The Shadrack Nsua is down. It's over. But it takes the win.
You know what? I went home. My best friend told me one thing. He said, "Look, the sun's gonna rise tomorrow." And my coach always tells me that. He said, "One day you're gonna lose. The sun will always rise. It's not done. This is a hiccup, and it happens." Growing up, I learned not to sulk and lay on the floor and cry over things that's happened. I've learned to get up and dust yourself and ask a question, what's next? And every time I've done that, every time I've applied that rule in my life, something great has happened.
Become what you like to become. I always say I'm not successful. I will never be successful. I always work every day to make a day successful.
In life, with no challenges, where we're heading. Challenges are good, because I believe we have the ability to make it all the way to the top. One hiccup in a road, it's nothing. It's nothing. There's gonna be more. And it's part of life. It's part of growth. Yeah, it's a bumpy road. Yeah.
The Democratic Republic of Congo has a new hero, and his name is Shadrack Nsua. This guy embodies hard work, determination, and a never-give-up attitude. Shadrack Nsua is a fighter, and I mean a true fighter. DRC, stand up. Africa, stand up. You have a world champion on your hands, mark my words.
Too much power in Nsua.
You want some? You want some? Come and get some, baby!
Really, the sky is the limit for a guy like a Shadrack Nsua representing the DRC.
If you're going through hardship now, it's for a good cause. It's preparation for you to see the bigger picture. It's preparation for you to get to where you're supposed to be. You're destined for greatness, but it will not come easy.